Hi there people, it's Uberman UK. Well, I have been asked to do this special emergency video. It's because where I live at a particular moment, Tameside drivers are being robbed on an average of one a week. Usually it's one a year, but every single week now someone is being robbed. Our fellow taxi or private hire driver are being robbed. It's mostly private hire drivers, because in a normal traditional black taxi there is a safety screen, so that stops them, the person who wants to rob them, to get into their cab, which is a good thing. But as private hire drivers and Uber drivers, we don't have that luxury. Now let me just say, people, Uber don't really have a problem because we don't really take cash fares. We take a very small percentage. So on a full night we might take £20 in cash fares. The rest will go through on the card. But on the normal private hire taxi round Tameside, it's mostly done cash fares. Now what you have to ask yourself, why are people targeting taxis or private hires at the moment? It's because you have to understand how the criminal works and why they're actually doing it. And I'm going to give you tips and ways to prevent this from happening. So first we're going to look in why they're doing it. Mostly it's all to do with drugs. They need to get their heroin or some kind of whatever they need to get, because it's an addiction end of the day. They might go in jail, and they'll go in jail basically, and they'll be rehabilitated. Can't get my words out as usual. So what these thieves are doing, when they've got an addiction to drugs, they are going into the local shops, Tesco's, Asda, pinching big loads of wine, anything what they can sell off for drugs, and eventually they get caught, put away in prison, and then they come out, but they've still got the addiction problem. So they know where can they get money, where can they get cash. They know they can't go back to the supermarkets because everyone knows them. Everyone's watching out for them, and when they are released into the community, that the police inform the local shops that there could be a potential thief. So they have to think clever, because remember, a criminal don't want to be caught, so they have to pick somewhere where it's cash and they can't be caught. So what they're doing, this person or group, whoever's doing it, are targeting taxi drivers. I said usually one taxi gets robbed a week, but at the moment it's every single week now around our area, and it scares it out of me, to be honest with you. Now, and yes, I work for Uber and I don't take much cash fares, but what about the other drivers out there? What about my people who watch this channel who are worried about this? So I have to find ways to stop this from happening. So that's why I'm teaching you about the person who was trying to rob you. So they need to get cash. So the best thing they can do is usually now ring a taxi company up as a new customer, pick up location and drop off location, and you arrive at the taxi. You arrive at their destination, and you've got to look at the markers. Now, you have to think, so when they arrive at your vehicle, how do you spot them? Well, you can't really. You just have to look for the indications. I went to a course this week with Tameside Council, and they have explained about this situation that's happening in Tameside, and they give all taxi drivers hints and tips how to prevent it and what to watch out for. So I'm going to pass this information on to you. So people, this is where they would sit. Now this is the most dangerous place for a taxi driver where a passenger would sit, because they're right behind the driver. The driver would probably not see the person coming. So this is the most vulnerable place for a private hire driver who's sitting in the front, because if he's talking to the people, he can't see, because if you look in the mirror, he can't see through the mirror, because you've got the headrest, what's here, what's in front of the camera. So and usually he'll keep away like this. So basically the driver cannot see you at all. So always remember, this is a dangerous area where to sit. I don't like anyone sitting. So what you could do is, whoever gets in this seat and they start a conversation, because I guarantee thieves will start a conversation with you, because they want to know how much money you've got on a daily, what you took. And they're simple questions, what most people ask anyway. So they're trying to find. So if they sat here, always say to the person, and they start a conversation, and you think they're a little dodgy, just say, I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Do you mind moving up to the next seat so I can hear you a bit better? Now, remember, they don't want to be caught, you see, so they don't want you to see their faces. Because in Tameside, these drivers who've been robbed, they're not even seeing the faces, because they've sat in a position where the thief sat here and the driver can't see him. So when they're interviewed by the police, how was the passenger? 30. Has he got a beard? Well, I never actually saw him, because he was behind the driver. Great position, you see. So I could come behind the driver like this with a knife, and he won't even to see my face, because I am protected by the seat cushion. See if you can see here now, people. This is the seat cushion. It's protecting me from the driver. The driver cannot see me. So this is the dangerous area. So what you need to do is tell him, I'm sorry, I can't really hear you there. Do you mind moving up a bit? Because you're trying to prevent them from robbing you. You've got to think to yourself, now, people, I don't want to be robbed. So just little tips like this. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't hear what you're saying. Do you mind just moving up to the next seat? And I can hear you a bit better, because thieves don't want to be recognised. If you can stop them from robbing you, do so. Prevention is the key, people. If they're sat in the back, can you see the back? No, you can't. You can see this particular area, okay? And also, what I really recommend is you get a CCTV camera, a dash cam, anything what records any sound or even the picture. So you can get a Focus 360 off the internet for about £140 and put it on here. You can just see these are my cameras. What it does, it looks back here and forward, so you can see my passengers and hear my passengers, and also see in the front. It's perfectly legal to have a CCTV in, but you must register with your local government, or not your local government. And all you got to do is go on the website, just type in CCTV register. It takes 10 minutes to register, and it's absolutely free, and you'll get a certificate. And that's it. There's no cost. As long as it's registered, it can be used in a court of law, because it's all this Data Protection Act nonsense. And also, have a little sticker here. But smile, you're on TV, or have little stickers in your window. Because a robber, a thief, is not going to take the chance of being caught, are they? So prevention is the key. And they are very clever. Do not underestimate the thief. Yeah, he might be a local smackhead, but he's very clever at getting money. That's what he does for a living. So you've got to prevent it. Now, usually at the end of the shift, end of the journey, he'll take you to somewhere where he thinks he can rob you. And he will give you a £20 note for, let's just say, a £4 fare. So he knows you're going to get your money out, your change out. And what do I see all the time? Well, the drivers go in the pocket like this, and they pull out a wad full of cash. You might as well hand it to him on a McDonald's tray. You don't let him see the cash. Now, what you could do is, for example, is have only, let's just say, it's £15. So when he does, put my money here. No, I shouldn't really, should I? There's a robber about. Put it back in. So I'll put all my wads of money somewhere safe. So I'll put it in my back pocket. You can put it anywhere, but don't let him see it. Don't let he or she see it. So when they do give you 20, all you've got to do is in your pocket again and say, you're lucky because this is my first trip. I haven't got much change. This is all I've got. Now that tells the robber, we haven't got much money. and he'll think, is it worth being robbed over £20, over £15? Because that's all he'll get, because you give him that information. So things like that. And remember, he'll try to get the information out of you before you even get to there. For example, he'll be sat in the back, usually behind here. He'll never sit in the front, ever. It's too dangerous, because you can reach him, you can grab him. It's this area which is the back, okay? Always remember, the back of your head is just danger part, because he could come behind you like this, and what you're going to do? Give him the money. But if he's going to rob you, he'll make sure you've got money on you, and he'll ask the famous question, what gets on us taxi, Uber driver and private hire drivers' nerves: have you been busy tonight? Remember that famous saying, we all hate that. Have you been busy? Well, what you say, you've got to say this to every single person who gets on. You have to lie to them, because it could protect yourself one day. You're not being rude. You just say to them, let's just say someone gets on and says, have you been busy tonight? Just saying, well, I know you're my first trip tonight. I've only just started. Now, if they're going to rob you, they know what's the point, because it's your first trip. You're not going to have much money on you. Anything, just say to them, yeah, it's my first trip tonight, and I'm struggling for change at the moment, so I'd appreciate if you got anything to tell them you've got no money in the car. And whatever you do, don't pull a load of notes out. Keep £15 in your pocket and £5 in the other pocket. All the rest leave in your back pocket or somewhere safe. Don't let him see what he wants. Cash. So remember that question, have you been busy? And say every single person who asks you, you're my first trip today. Because that'll put them off. Because they're not dumb. Don't underestimate the thief. Because thieves work on you being stupid, believe it or not, and giving them what they want to know. Tell them nothing. Now, it's not good for passengers to lie to them, but you've got to protect yourself. It's not really a lie, it's protecting you. The trick is with these videos, it protects you guys. You've got to protect yourself out there. The robber, remember, the thief is not going to take the chance over £15. Because, can you get high off £15? I won't know, because I don't take that kind of crap. So, remember, they're after, what, £50? Let's just say how much it is now, because I haven't got a clue how much drugs are. So let's prevent us from being robbed by not lying, but protecting yourself. Remember, this is your dangerous part. Remember, CCTV, put the sticker on, you're being smart by CCTV. Register it as well, okay? You can put a sticker on in the windows here, you're being watched by CCTV. Never to give any information about how busy you are. Because imagine if he'd gone and he said, have you had a busy day? Oh, it's been bad today, I haven't been stopped. He'll think, ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. And remember, people, I'm not saying it here. He'll think you've been busy. Always remember that. So prevention, people. I want you guys to look at these videos and stop it from happening, because it would really upset me if it happened to you. Watch this video, do these little tricks, let's stop this from happening, and hope they catch this person or group soon, because I'm not even told the why that drivers are being robbed. Because yes, they're taking your money and they're taking your phone as well. Now, most phones are smartphones, and most of these Apples, because that's all you've got. Now, I use a cheaper Android phone, which is not worth much, so let them see it here. Anything to prevent it from being nicked. Apples, they love apples. It's like the new apples. Don't, whatever you do, try and get a different one, an old one or scratch one. Anything to prevent them. Don't let them pinch off you. And unfortunately, if you do get robbed, hand it over. Think of your family. Don't be the big man. Live to fight another day. But prevention, prevention, prevention. It's sad, really is. We're trying to make our money and we could lose it all. We could do all them trips to get someone high, because they don't care about you. So look after yourself. tell them nothing. And if it does happen, give them it. Think of your family. Sign of the times, people. It's sign of the times. And if you do know a taxi driver, private hire driver, or Uber driver, share this to them. Let everyone know to prevent it. Because if we can prevent one by this video, it's worth it, people. It really is. What a world, eh? But we've got to adjust. We could prevent stuff like my house has full CCT around it. It cost me £800. So if anyone wants to go in my house and steal my stuff, they'll think to themselves, because they'll research it first. They won't just go in your house and rob it. They have to do the research because they're clever. They're not thick. They're real. People think thieves are thick. They're not. They're clever. They're clever at us, and they'll do anything to get that fix. But they don't want to be caught, so they'll do their research. So have your I have cameras around the house, fully working, HD sound as well. So if they are going to rob someone, they won't be robbing my house. They rather try someone else than do me. Now, still that's wrong, it really is, but I'm teaching you about prevention. Prevent. Share it with other taxi people, share it with other Uber drivers, share it with as many people as you can to get the message to stop us Tameside drivers being robbed. Yes, I am an Uber driver, we all know that, hopefully. And they won't really target us because we don't take cash, not much. But it might be on an occasion where, as an Uber driver, someone just desperate and tried to rob. Follow them simple steps again. Have you been busy, driver? No, you're my first passenger. That'll stop them in their tracks, because they're not going to go to prison for 20 quid. And remember, they'll always give you a 20 quid note to see how much change or where you get your money from, because they're not daft. So always keep £15 in your front pocket so they can see that. All your other cash, hide it wherever. Down your underpants, down your stocks, anywhere. But remember the little trick. Have you been busy, driver? I've only just started. Uberman UK signing